Alright, well, let's see what all we have covered thus far. We've looked at some general basic information showing how the text of Scripture was transmitted from when it was originally written down to us. We've traced some of that history, looking at some key dates and people involved. And I went from that. Of course, included in that, you have Jerome with the Latin Vulgate, which was the standard scripture basically for a good 1,000 years. And then we have the movement in England to translate from that Latin into the English tongue. And then we have some movement of some scholars like Erasmus, who ended up producing, collating some Greek manuscripts and kind of producing a unified Greek manuscript. And the course of that has led us to the 1611 King James, which is the focal point of this whole series. And then I went from that. The last series that I just finished up doing was throwing out some key evidence that I thought was pretty weighty in the issue that is presented in the introductory part of the 1611 King James. So now I'm getting into the specifics that I know everybody has been waiting for, and that is dealing with specific textual differences. I think what I want to do is, of the King James only literature that I have, I think that I want to go through this one, Fighting Back, a handy reference guide for King James Bible believers by James L. Melton. It'll be a pamphlet. Most of these are that I have. And I think I'm going to go through kind of point by point of what he's saying to interact with it, because I think a lot of what he points out in here is the specifics that usually is the first thing that gets thrown up in this debate. Somebody will throw, well, what about, and they'll quote a verse, and they'll say, they'll throw some of these out. So I think I want to go through with these specific points and address them one at a time. So however long it takes me to do that, how many of our videos, I guess we'll do that, and hopefully that will be enough to satisfy anybody who either A, wants to challenge why I don't believe this to be the correct position to hold, or if somebody is kind of sitting on the fence about the issue, is not too sure, which side that they're on, if they have to pick a side, maybe that'll be sufficient. I have other materials, but that was the one I chose, just because it kind of has a broad range of topics that it addresses, concerning this concerning this topic, this debate. So I think that's the one I'm going to pick. I spent a good bit of time at the library last Friday, and I had to go pick up this book. Many of you may have this book, New Age Bible Versions by Gail Riplinger. Big old thick book. Anyway, my local library didn't have it. I had to go all the way to Rome, but if you're not familiar with Georgia, you don't know where Rome, Georgia is. Close to an hour away. So I spent some time while I was up there picking up this book, doing some research, and I found a couple of reference books that they had addressing the Bible and stuff. So I did some research with that, jot down some notes that I have found that was interesting. A lot of it that I found, which I actually cited the source on a previous video, just kind of validating the historical information that's put in at the beginning of this particular facsimile by Holman, this 1611 reproduction. the historical information it gives at the beginning, about the English Bible and the who's and the what's and all that, leading up to the 1611. And it kind of, it reiterated a lot of the stuff that's in there. So it's kind of two sources kind of confirming the same points. But so I just want to kind of do this as an introduction to let you know where we've been and now where we're going with this final little run of videos. So I want to challenge you at this point. If you have not seen all the videos in order, I would encourage you to go back and do so, just to make sure that if at any point in these specific videos that I'm getting to now, if I reference any of the material I've already gone over, it won't, it will make sense to you. So like I said, this whole series has been me kind of laying out the evidence, the case that has persuaded me, to not be King James only. So I'd appreciate it if you do that. And other than that, I'll see you on the next video, and we'll start diving into the specifics. And feel free to, if there's something by the end of this thing, if there's something I don't address, feel free to shoot me an email, or if you're a friend, you can post a comment. If you're not a friend, you can still post a comment, but I'll have to approve it. And, I'll address something if I miss it. But I think this reference guide here will pretty much sum up all of them. So appreciate you sticking with me this far, and we're wrapping up. We're on the downhill slope, but we're getting into the good stuff, as some people would probably say. So God bless you.